And welcome back, everybody. We are in the VLR tournament. It's the second round here. As next up, we've got Blananx going up against DuonBlues. This is going to be casted by myself, Marks, and Daniel tonight for you. As these teams, they're going to be going to Haven.
Yeah, so Blananx actually played Haven the last game they played to qualify for this round two. So they do have a little bit more experience with it. They did ban Icebox last time, which maybe is because DuonBlues actually played. Actually, they did not play. They played on Bind. So they banned, they banned Breeze and they banded Icebox. So, like I said, Blananx might have the little bit of kind of an advantage here, having to play Haven on a tournament in a competitive setting. But we'll see what happens here. Haven, 3 bomb sites, like you mentioned before, Marcus, in the previous game. 3 bomb sites makes it really difficult to navigate on defense, going from site to site. So we'll see what happens between the two teams.
Yeah, Haven's always an interesting one just because there is just so much more room. And as a result, a little bit more strategy on how you want to play this. So going to be really interested to see here, but taking a look quickly at what these teams are bringing to the table today, it looks like just based purely on rank, DuonBlues should be at a little bit of an advantage here.
Yeah, for sure. DuonBlues looking like to have the advantage here. Like we saw, always on top, kind of fragged out the last game, playing on the Raze. Same with Call Me Mark playing on with the Sage. So there looks like, let's see if they pick the same kind of comp. Reyna is viable on Haven as well as Sage. So it's not out of the woods to be able to choose those type of agents on this map. But also on the DuonBlue side, on the Blananx side, they do have a new player in Jumpy. Not to be confused with Yampy, who's the opera for Fanatics in a Valorant world. But yeah, so I think with Chill Code being subbed out a little bit, who was their top frag in the last game, hopefully Jumpy could fill in that slot and be able to frag out as well for them. Master Chief was second in line as well as Spooky. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, now I'm wondering what these teams are going to be rolling out here. Obviously, Blananx coming in with a couple of subs in for their team, but they made it work in their first round. So let's see if they can keep that streak alive here, because whichever team wins this one is going to be advancing to the quarterfinals in this tournament. So a little bit on the line here, because this is only a best of one map. So whoever wins is going to be advancing. Now it looks like Blananx, they got to get their act together, because I don't think everybody is going to be playing Yoru there, as teams are going to be now locked in.
Yeah, exactly. And also you see that, it looks like maybe someone didn't pick an agent in time. But yeah, we got reverted back, but no worries. We saw a little bit of a sneak peek to where the DuonBlues lineup was going. We saw Call Me Mark on the Sky, which is very interesting because playing a Sentinel before, now he's playing an Initiator. But Sky's really good on having, allowing to flash in big open spaces and getting that information whenever they need, with her flashes being popped off and letting her know if there was someone present in that area. So we have the Sky, but we also, it's important to notice, to have the always on DB always on top as the Jet. We saw what he can do with Raze. But let's see what we can do with Jet, having the elevated areas to jump on those boxes in mid or C, and allowing to opt from those angles. I'm really excited to see how he can frag out. And also with Sayabu, remember those lineups that he had last round? Maybe he can do the same with the Killjoy, which is what he picked. Let's see if they pick the exact same, very similar composition as they did in just like 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, thankfully, they didn't get to take a little sneak peek at what the teams are going to be running, because we never actually loaded into the game here, which is going to just allow them to pick whatever they see fit. But of course, always on top. A lot of opportunities, like you mentioned, for him to be on top of some boxes. And personally, as a Jet main myself, I love playing on top of those boxes. You know, you bring out the Judge, you just wait for them to turn the corner completely unsuspecting, and then you just jump and just shoot them in the head with a big old shotgun. And it's great. So a lot of opportunities for a character like Jet, Razor, Omen to get a little bit more verticality on otherwise a pretty flat map here. It could be interesting to see what these teams decide to roll out with. Right now, it looks like DuonBlues are a little bit more comfortable with what composition they were running before, as we see them pretty much lock in exactly what they had beforehand.
Yeah, exactly. I think we'll see what Mel changes up a little bit. But like I said, same composition. Josh again on the Omen. It looks like Blananx really stretching their time here for the agent selection. Let's see if they need another break or something like that before the match actually starts. But it looks like they might get all their agents locked in beforehand. With the Brimstone, the Sova, the Reyna, Sage, and Spooky on the Jet. So I think Spooky did a pretty good job fragging out last round with the Reyna, but now Jumpy is on the Reyna. So they're double dueling Duelistic. Not too much on defense, maybe only the Sage to hold things off. So they're starting off a little bit, I would say, hindered on the defensive end, but they could make it up on the offensive end. As Haven, depending who you ask, I would like to say is more of an offensive side of map because you have those 3 bomb sites to go to. But like I said, depending on who you ask, some people like it better. Some people leave B wide open. It all depends how your strats go.
Yeah, and it's going to be up to Blananx to try and figure out what strategies they want to be running here because, like we said, there are 3 bomb sites, very different than all of the other maps in Valorant. And it is, like you said, a very possible strategy that you just completely play retake onto Site B because there's so many openings, so many things you can just use to your advantage if you are playing the defense here. It's going to be interesting regardless, and I'm excited to see what these teams want to be busting out here because this one might be a little bit more of a contested map.
Yeah, exactly, Marks. So I think look to see maybe Master Chief play on B, which is pretty common. But like I said, if they want to leave that strat to be open, Sage is perfect to hold down choke points in C. That one choke point, as long as they have Garage settled down, wall that up and delay so much, especially on a pistol round. So you'll probably see Master Chief either go to A or C in this first round here.
Yeah, and it looks like Blananx are just going to be setting up here. Looks like they don't want to necessarily commit to one of these sites or another, but we might have a little bit of a tech timeout here, as it looks like there is a little bit of a problem on the Blananx's side here. So as we quickly go for a little bit of a tech pause, hopefully just trying to figure it out. Oh, well, looks like we're going to be in the first round. Unfortunately, the pause did not make its way on before the round started. Now Blananx very much struggling to try and make their way into their defensive positioning, are able to do so, but the C side is just wide open right now, and it should be a pretty easy take for DuonBlues to just move in here and
launching
get their
smoke
bomb set up.
Yeah, I think DuonBlues is even surprised how open that site was. It looks like it's going to be a full-on retake here. 5v5, we love to see it. It's going to be pretty puggy here just to go spam abilities and see what happens. Looks like they're playing for long. I believe the bomb was planted just outside those double boxes there. So the Killjoy has a proper setup there. Looks like the Vexipoo is going in for the engage.
Yeah, and now it's just going to be an all-out gunfight on this site. Master Chief able to find one. Now it's a 2v3 situation, 2v2. Jumpy coming through here, able to take out Mel, and now he's hitting the defuse right now. Seibu just completely caught off guard by this right now. Does have the swarm grenade, so able to activate that, but it's going to be rushed. Master Chief finishing that off. Jumpy now just looking for the defuse. Can he stick it? No, he's able to take out Seibu, but there's not going to be enough time. So that's going to be the first round going to DuonBlues.
Honestly, not too bad for having a late start on Blananx's part. They weren't able to set up properly on defense due to some technical issues, but they managed to make it a contested round anyways. But like I said, when I was watching that previous game for DuonBlues, I believed that Seibu was super key in being able to having post plants with the Viper when he played on Icebox, and he's doing the exact same thing so far here on Haven with those mollies and being able to peek and just delaying so much time playing from C long. I'm surprised they didn't plant for the long plant, but they did default. So either way, well in.
Yep, and now we see DuonBlues, they want to be taking a little bit more of a mid/A approach here. They've got 3 in window and 2 moving up on A. Just trying to get a little bit of information, maybe an early pick, and that's going to really help determine which site they want to be taking here. You can see that the pressure is enough to make a little bit of a rotation come out from Blananx. Once again, it's going to be a little bit tough for Blananx to do something here because they don't have as many guns as DuonBlues does. Always on top now, just around the corner from a Sage. It seems like they kind of know where each other are, but they don't necessarily want to be crossing fire here. Now, the Master Chief is going to be getting this engaged, but he's also got a little bit of help from Seibu as Master Chief goes down. They still got 2 on A, but now that B site is completely open. Let's see how DuonBlues want to react with this. The Paranoia is going to come out onto A site, and now it's actually going to be a storm all the way onto A. Mel being taken out by Jumpy. Now Jumpy trying to find another. Jumpy able to take down Jash. Can he find another? Unfortunately, he is stopped by Calm Man Mark, as now DuonBlues, they have the site and should be getting that bomb down.
30 seconds
Yeah,
left.
if you really look what happened there, with that presence they had on B, Vexipoo and Spooky were both delayed on B, trying to snoop out where those opposing players were. So that delayed it a good 5 seconds just to be able to, for DuonBlue to have that offensive capability to get that site with the mismatch numbers. Now you see Spooky looking to engage, but it's gonna be a tall order with just a classic and Vexipoo with the Spectre.
Yeah, especially too if you lose 30 HP right off the bat there, but it's going to be always on top, making sure that he secures his position on the top of the leaderboard as he picks up those final 2 kills, getting another round for DuonBlues.
Exactly, and this is where we begin to see how Blananx is going to react to this. They're down 0-2, they have the full buy, and I think now it's going to be looking to more of a standard setup for where they're going to defend. You see the Brimstone playing on A and the Reyna as well as accompanying him, knowing they like to put the pressure on A from that last round. I think the Sage playing B is pretty standard, like I said, with the wall going up, blocking that completely, looking, maybe the Sage will put up early and rotate somewhere else. But I don't know, I think it's going to be tough for them.
You can see DuonBlues using a little bit of a similar strategy because if it ain't broke, why fix it? They got a little bit of pressure on A, but this time it seems like they're favoring a little bit more of that B site. But as soon as I say that, they're actually queuing up to walk down A. They're going to be met by a Jumpy who's lurking down short right now, able to find one. That's going to be a huge pick on the dash, taking the spike down. Icy trying to do something as well, but gets taken down. Now, Sabu lurking still on mid right now, just trying to add a little bit of pressure, make them think that maybe this could be a B push as the team is going to be backing off. DuonBlues are now deciding to rotate over. If they do go into mid, they're going to be met by 2 defenders here, which could be a little bit difficult, but if Spooky's down, then it's only 1 defender as Vexy falls as well. Now they've got complete B control as it's 2v4 situation for Blananx. Now, that's looking pretty good as soon as they slap that spike down.
Yeah, exactly. This 2v4 is not looking good for Blananx at all, even though they do have the guns. But DD always on top does have that Phantom. Master Chief, knowing that he's going to be up there, does get the bad end of it with the health, trading a lot of health for their Jumpy, getting that kill, perfect, but only 16 health. And always on top comes Clutch again with the 3K in the round. Yeah, I think that kind of went the wrong way for Blananx. Losing 3-0, they having the guns. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, DuonBlues had only, like, I believe 3 Spectres and I think a Sheriff or in another weapon. So it wasn't like they were fully loaded there, and they still managed to pick up that round.
I mean, just look at the economy right now. The difference between these 2 teams. You can see always on top right now. He's only got a Sheriff. I'm assuming he will be buying a rifle, but you can just see right now, this looks so good for DuonBlues. They've just got so much money. They're even if they lose a round, they're still gonna have enough to buy rifles the next round, which is just gonna set them up really well for future rounds.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe always on top is probably gonna pop his ult as well with the Sheriff. But what a pick from Vexipoo with the Sheriff. That was actually huge.
A great recon dart, and then just using the Sheriff to punch in Sabu. And Sabu has been so instrumental in how DuonBlues attacks onto this B site right now. Vexipoo has to back off, but the damage has already been done as he gets the heal there. Now, DuonBlues looking for an opportunity to do something different, maybe potentially get Garage Control and storm onto C.
Yeah, exactly. They have Garage Control here, and then you see this guy with the bomb, though, laboring in window. He goes through the smoke. And I think that they have an idea here. They do have an idea that they're going on to see.
Spooky! Oh, Spooky! Spooky, you can't miss those shots, otherwise you're going to be taken down by Mel with a rifle, unfortunately. Now the knives are going to be coming through the smoke, but Ice is just going to be backing off right there. Now, the bomb has been planted, and that's going to be a lot of damage coming through, but it's a 4v4 situation, so it's not looking over for either team just yet, as Icy Knife is going to be engaging here, but he's going to be caught off guard by Mel. Mel in just such a great position. Mel can also heal himself, so that makes things a little bit easier here, as now we have a little bit of a rotation off the back, but it's going to be Jash ready for it, just ready for Master Chief to peek around this corner. He's only got a pistol. Only so much you can do there, as once again, DuonBlues are taking this away 4-0.
Yeah, 4-0. It's probably well-deserved. What I want to see from Spooky, though, is he's playing super back on C and on site to the left side. I want to see him play a little bit more aggressive, take that space in C long, and get that information that, hey, maybe someone's not here, because DuonBlues has not played C at all and really put any pressure on the C side, as we see Sabu putting that turret to watch that C flank. But I want to see, well, in this case, it's going to be Master Chief. They switch sides, but just take up that space, get that information, and then the rotations will become a lot easier.
Yeah, and on top of that too, like, speaking of flankers and things like that, that is an excellent opportunity to at least scope out a little bit of more information. I understand the need to just kind of play it safe, but you could be adding a lot more value to your team, just being a little bit more aggressive, knowing that they've never pushed up C once yet.
Exactly, but that's the thing, Marks. They don't know that because they've been playing so deep in C. They don't know they don't play C at all, right? So I think that's what like to what both of us are alluding to. Get that information. You could it's good to peek it, but you don't know where people are. You could get sound cues. Are they rotating from mid? How are they gonna enter? And as we see, always on top with that sick off shot on Vexipu. I think this is where might be going down the hill for Blananx.
And now Mel is going to be caught off guard by Icy Knight, but it's okay because it was just a Phoenix ult, as now the team is going to be storming C. So speaking of the C hold, Master Chief is just going to be running for it, as he's going to be trying to just relocate himself down C long, and that way potentially deny, what do you call it, the team from moving down there as well to get that information. Spooky standing right beside his Jet counterpart, but always on top is going to see him first. Now Icy Knight, though, able to punish that Master Chief, able to find one. Now this is looking like a completely winnable situation for Blananx on this defense. Mel is going to be alone here, able to find Jumpy. Can he find Master Chief? He does not. Now it's just up to Calm-In Mark, as the res is going to be coming through onto Jumpy. So Calm-In Mark knows that two are going to be coming down along, and is going to opt to back up here, but unfortunately was looking the wrong way as he gets taken out. And finally, Blananx are able to get their first point on the board.
Looks like Calm-In Mark was trying to get a better position there, but I don't know if you make some noise knowing that a couple people are going to be coming down your throat. Immediately you have to get the kills in long. So what a retake from Blananx there. I gotta give him credit where credit is due. I did say it might be a really difficult or end of the road for them, but they came back, got some key frags, and made the round there. So I think this is a good turning point for them. Let's see if they can mount on top of this success for the first round win.
And now, finally, we're going to have an even buy across the board, as both teams are going to basically have full shields, as well as rifles, minus Spooky just having that half shield. So let's see how they want to be playing this. It looks like Jumpy might be playing a little aggressive, but actually just going to be holding on to this corner here, always on top, looking for that opening pick. We know his aim is good. He's not able to find one, so he's just going to be backing off now.
Yeah, we see that they're playing more of a default now, which I think is pretty good because they get more information, see where anyone is. That was a pretty key kill by Jumpy. Looks like he's shouldering the workload. Another kill, another headshot, and always on top. Their top fragger on the other team, looking to carry the workload from Chiligo as they exchange from Icy Knife and Josh, and Icy Knife just backs up. It's looking really good here for Blananx.
Absolutely. Keep in mind, Blananx, their bomb is still at their spawn right now. It is going to be picked up as Seibu is just completely out of position. But Seibu, good for one. Now that might help a little bit as Calm-In Mark slowly making his way over to the double doors right there. He's too scared to pop through here, which I don't blame him. But he's going to be met with Jumpy on that Reyna just on the other side of the doors. Calm-In Mark might not be looking in the right position as Jumpy's going to be walking in and going to be securing that headshot. Now it's just all on the back of Seibu. But with that clear as well, it's going to be near impossible for that to happen as Master Chief finishes that up, and now Blananx looking pretty good, 2-4.
You always love to see that combination and teamwork. Jumpy getting that pick and immediately flashing, and then Master Chief peeks for that, knowing that the attention is going to be from Seibu all on Jumpy. Well done. I love that team coordination, and I think what it seems to me that Blananx is getting back on track now. I think maybe they had a little jitters, a little bit of a rust, and they shook that off, and then they're back on track.
Absolutely. Right now, Blananx looking extremely good on their defense here. Reading DuonBlues' strategies like a book. DuonBlues, they got to be a little bit more careful pushing into these sites because now they're getting punished for it.
Exactly. Look at if you see always on top taking that Spooky taking that advanced position in A, knowing that there's going to be nothing there, so they could play it accordingly. Just give them B, and then just play for the retake. They use the Killjoy ult even though there was no one there, so I think that's not an ult that they'll be really sad about losing. Now that Vexipu using his ult, but picking up nothing.
Yeah, that ult was just to deny the Killjoy lockdown, so that Blananx can re-engage here, but always on top, trading out Spooky. But he's taking out himself by Icy Knife. Now, ults are just going to be coming online as it's going to be the Sky raining down fire, but unable to find anybody here. Icy Knife, though, using his guns to get it done. Now he's got a lot of pressure right now. Can he make it happen? Oh my goodness, he's dodging bullets left and right. Vexipu moving in with Jumpy right beside him. And now there's only Seibu left. Seibu, can he do it? He cannot, as that's going to be yet. Oh, never mind. Wait, Blananx might not be able to defuse this time. This is going to be down to the wire. Okay, they're able to get it. They've got 1 second left as Blananx are going to be getting closer to tying up the series right now.
Yeah, I don't know who that was. I think it was Icy Knife dodging bullets like Neo over there. I don't know. I don't know whether it was just maybe a bad spray on Sayabu's part, but it was it helped him out at the end because he had 0 bullets in his gun. So, but well, like I said, good retake on Blananx's part. I'm not sure if they do use that Sova ult anyways, as it was counting down and no one was in the area. But either way, they did win the round. So like I said, might as well use your ult, then hold on to it and not use it for 4 or 5 rounds. So well done, good retake, and I think they're just steamrolling at this point.
Looking really good for them right now, as Spooky's going to see them just moving up on this A site, so he is going to be just completely backing off here. This is just a straight up rush from DuonBlues. You know, trying to play the smart game, not necessarily working, so let's bring out the battering ram strategy.
Yeah, exactly. But look at this flank here from Jumpy. Look at the space he's taken up. This is going to be pretty key. And now he's just letting himself known. This is pretty confident of a move here to get 1 kill. Go for the second one? No, he doesn't. He misses, but he made his presence known, and now they're in shambles.
Yeah, you can see DuonBlues second guessing whether or not they really want to attack this A site here. They're going to be playing it absolutely slowly. Also, too, understanding that they are going to be pressured from Jumpy from behind. It looks like that, in fact, they do want to be backing off, but now Jumpy just completely making it back into the spawn. Always on top, getting a pick onto Icy Knife. Now this could be the engagement they are looking for. Unfortunately, unable to capitalize off of that flash. Mel taking a little bit of damage here. The ultimate is going to be popped by Always on Top, as now they're able to get the bomb down, and Blananx have to play this retake.
Yeah, really good take from DuonBlues. I think we're gonna see some action here with Master Chief and Spooky coming through CT. But we see, oh, that's double up shot, so cool. And then hits him with the cut. Jumpy and Jack exchange blows. Oh, wow, Master Chief coming in hot here. It's 1v1. He's really low health, but he's just playing around with them as time is on his side.
Yeah, right now, Always on Top just has to stall it out, but unfortunately he's going to be going down because Master Chief is just a little bit faster. There's a reason why he saved Earth multiple times in the Halo series. As now he's going to be getting this defuse off, tying it up. It's going to be 4-4 now. I trained for.
Yeah, exactly. That was a pretty messy round. I think DuonBlues did a great job in the situation they were in. Unfortunately, they found Jumpy flanking them, which was a really good flank. But I think what Jumpy did, maybe a little bit too aggressive. He did get 1 kill, but he showed his position when he could have maybe got multiple.
Need a drop.
But DuonBlues recovered really well from that 1 pick from Jumpy and took the site pretty cleanly. Unfortunately, they couldn't hold it, but I think that's still a positive for DuonBlues. Putting it to that end and keeping it in a 1v1, I think they should have their chin up and just keep chucking. Even though it's tied now and they did lose 3 rounds, just keep on going.
Yeah, but Blananx, they're looking really good economy-wise. The Spooky's able to an operator, so A is going to be a lot more difficult, but thankfully DuonBlues look like they want to be pushing down C. This is the first time that they've pushed C this round from C long specifically, and you can already see they just don't feel comfortable doing so, as they're going to be spraying through it, but ultimately backing off.
Look at Jumpy with this another aggressive push here. See if he can get a kill. Nice. That's a good trade on his part there. Looking like they're rotating over to A, or maybe mid. Scoping it out. They do favor B. They did get good positions on B and planted a couple of times. So let's see if DuonBlues picks up on this, or excuse me, Blananx picks up on this.
And a good initiation coming in from DuonBlues. Now we're going to be seeing a Phoenix ult come out from DuonBlues. Mel going to be trying to get a little bit more position, just pushing out onto C, just make sure that it's all cleaned out. Knows that Icy Knife is going to be in garage, but look at this. The pincer mechanic is going to be coming in because they're going to be coming from all different sides here. Spooky with the operator. This might be a little bit difficult for him to do, but Icy Knife is completely caught off guard because there's going to be 2 people there. But it doesn't matter. Vexibu comes through with a kill, but it gets traded out himself. Spooky with the operator, looking for a shot. But Jumpy is the one who's going to become the hero here. And unfortunately, Call Me Mark is going to take out Spooky with a 5 HP. Also able to grab that off with DuonBlues now taking the lead once again, 5-4.
Well done on DuonBlues' part for taking that site completely, knowing that they were in trouble. CE had a lot of utility with that wall and those smokes. Good job just rotating and not worrying about it. The Sky ult was pretty key, but it looks like Spooky kind of lagged there or something near the end. He had the lineup right onto Call Me Mark, and he just didn't pull the trigger. But yeah, like I said, good take. They got the op on their side. Just turned the fortunes.
Yeah, and now it's the op is in the hands of Always on Top, and you know this guy is good with his aim. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Blananx to do something here. But we actually see DuonBlues are setting up for a little bit of a split onto 2 on C and 3 on A. They're calling for just a regroup down at the bottom of their site before they decide, you know what, let's just push garage.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they're going pretty slowly here. I like feeling it out, feeling it around. You don't always have to be charging one site. But like I said, look at Vexipoo getting that information using a drone down C. This is what I was talking about. They know they're not there, and he immediately rotates the garage to help out Icy Knife. This is what I'd like to see. Use information, and then using that information, help out your teammates and get better positions for a potential take. And looks like I think DuonBlues is just kind of figuring out what they want to do. They haven't really gone anywhere. They're just grouping up in mid, maybe making their way to C. This could be a good fake for them. But like I said, they're just holding fast. I think this is good from Blananx's part, is to hold where you're. Don't push too much. Don't get impatient.
Always on top. Might be able to get a pick on the Master
30
Chief
seconds
right
left.
now. Not paying attention. That's going to be the opening pick off right now. There's 30 seconds left, and it looks like they are going to be favoring B as we see the entire team of DuonBlues start making their way over. Jumpy, though, could catch him off guard. He sees he's able to take out Always on top. He's able to find another one. Can he find a third? He has to reload, but it is going to be looking good right now for Blananx as they're going to be taking out 3 of their members, and now they're running out of time to even get the bomb down. We can see Sabu try to go for it, but unfortunately is just taken out. What a great round for Blananx.
Great round for Blananx. Jumpy again with that lurk. It did not allow him to, because the first time didn't work and he only got 1 kill and he died, that did not deter him from doing it again. I love that aggression. But what I like to say though is DuonBlues, although that was a great take on their part, it looks like they were a little bit out of sync there. You saw Always on top get that great pick with the op, but I believe Call Me Mark and someone else who had Call Me Mark had the bomb was trailing a little bit, allowing Jumpy to take that space in between them and getting those huge frags.
Absolutely, and honestly, Jumpy's just been doing a great job at being that flanker. You know, every single time he's been on one of these flanks, he's able to find 1 or 2 picks, which really just opens it up for the team, as well as makes DuonBlues really question themselves and what they want to be doing in the situations. You can already see Jumpy getting a little bit aggressive here, pressuring them back once again. DuonBlues second guessing what they want to be doing.
Yeah, and I think that the mind game, this is where the mind games start, right? You've been having a lot of conditioning, and they don't think Vexipoo's here. They don't even check the corner. He already gets to only 1 kill as he trade out the kills, and Josh with a nice headshot from onto Spooky. Let's see if they can take this 3v3 and where they're gonna go.
Icy Knife just completely backing off. Knows that there's too many people. Master Chief taking down Call Me Mark is going to be a great way to open this up. It is a 2-2 right now. Let's see how they want to make this happen. Master Chief making it a 2v1 situation. Just an Omen left. Josh, he does have the bomb, but he's going to be walking into a little bit of trouble, especially too if Master Chief is just going to be shutting him down right there. And then as Blananx now, for the first time, are going to have the lead
Last
6-5.
round before the switch.
Yeah, good on Blananx. I think after that initial 4-0 or 4-1, it's been pretty even, right, Marks? Like they've been trading rounds blow for blow. And what better can we ask for? Maybe we get an overtime here. We did get one yesterday, so I think it'll be pretty cool to see another overtime and put these 2 great teams to the test.
Yeah, these teams have been neck and neck on all of these rounds, you know, not necessarily winning flawlessly, but just winning by a couple of picks left. So now DuonBlues once again setting up, putting a little bit of pressure onto B as well as C before they move in here. Spooky though able to get one onto Mel. An operator down short is a little bit difficult to deal with, especially too if you're gonna find a shot through the floor onto Josh's head. And now Jumpy gonna be applying a little bit more aggression, but Always on top is just going to get the quick knife right to the dome, and that's going to be a good for him. Now it's 3v4. They know that the operator might still be down there. So where does DuonBlues attack?
Yeah, I think Always on top looking to their favorite B side, but Vexipoo's expecting them there. But Always on top does have the knives here, so he does have the advantage. But let's see what happens here. Oh, and he gets that first onto Spooky. What a kill.
You know, the operator is a one-shot, but also a knife to the dome. Another one-shot as well. We're going to see the Killjoy all fall down here as Icy Knife able to take Call Me Mark down, but Always on top, not enough pressure as the Killjoy ultimate is going to be going down. Sabu is able to take him out just to keep the Killjoy ultimate alive, but the bomb hasn't even been planted yet, so Sabu going for a hard flank, doesn't check his left, as that's going to be Master Chief once again cleaning up these rounds, as Blananx now taking the lead 7-5.
Switching sides.
Yeah, Marks, that was a good half on both teams' part. 7-5 for DuonBlues. That's not a bad result at all. But even for the defensive for Blananx, I think having that DuonBlues with the 5 and Blananx with the 7, I think it's not a good result for both teams. And I think look to see what they do in response to how each team reacted on defense and offense.
Absolutely, but now this is looking, finally the rounds have swapped, so Blananx is going to be the one who is going to be attacking here. Ironically, DuonBlues, they didn't favor that seed offense, but it looks like it might be a little bit more open to Blananx here as they set up for a default push. We see this is just a pistol round, so it's going to be a little bit different from what we can expect on their main offense here. But they do have a lot of good initiation tools to move into here. Specifically, if you can get some of those breach smokes off, really isolate the site, then it should be an easy take onto C, which right now, that's what Blananx is favoring. We're going to hear the, the wolf come out. Common Mark scouting for some information. Just completely misses Jumpy in the corner there. Now Jumpy is going to be able to move in on here as Master Chief is going to get the wall up, shutting them out. Jumpy, though, he sees them on the running in. He's able to take out one, and unfortunately, always on top is going to be taking him out as well. Now, Spooky, he's just alone here, waiting for them to come through as Mel is looking for something. Unfortunately, Garage is walled off, so this engagement going to be a little bit more difficult. But always on top, has a feeling Spooky's there, but doesn't see him. He's crouched. Unfortunately, he is going to be trading out here. They're shooting battles, shots back and forth, but always on top, going to be coming out on top. But unfortunately, it's 1v3 here on this pistol round. Now, he really needs to clutch it up for his team, but this re-engagement is just going to be absolutely rough, especially, too, if you pull your knife out. And that's going to be another round, a solid start for Blananx in this next half.
Yeah, pulling out your knife going into the site is not the greatest idea, but I mean, it was a 3v1, and if there's anyone I had my money, yeah, exactly. If there's anyone I have my money on to take that 1v3, it is always on top, as he has 16 kills, and he's top of the leaderboards for his team. Master Chief, though, having a great game. Although he only has 17 kills in the previous game against, against Yeet, he is topping the server right now. So well on Master Chief, and let's see what they can do with the gun advantage here.
The big thing Master Chief has been really good at is securing space. You know, on that defense, that was extremely obvious because he just held that C site down like it was nothing. But also, too, when they got the bomb plant down, Master Chief was instrumental in just being able to just find the defensive picks. He just seems extremely well-versed on the defense.
Exactly, and look at he's on top here. Oh, with the shorty. Oh, he takes that shorty. If he grabs a Spectre, I think it's gonna be really tough for them to get onto C here. With that gun. Oh man, I think they're going into a trap here, Master Chief. If he gets his pick, it could change things though. And looks like he gets that pick on Jack. Always on top with that Spectre, like I said, in Garage.
And now it's just gonna be battles back and forth. Always on top. I can't believe he got the pick with the shorty, but you know, if anyone can make it happen, it would be him. Now he's just cleaning up the rest of the team. That's going to be always on top, pulling DuonBlues through to their first win in the half. I still can't believe he got that shorty kill. That's ridiculous.
Yes, honestly, sometimes people just don't check that corner. If you're just camping with a shorty, a one-shot headshot with not full armor could usually does the trick. So I think for DuonBlues, that was a big round. And like I said, picking up that Spectre in Garage with Blananx not even defending that gun, knowing that he probably could pick him up with the best player. I think that was a round changer when they committed to C as well, because he dropped a 4K that round.
Absolutely, always on top, making it work, whether or not he's right up close in your face or at a super long distance with a rifle. And now we see Blananx. They're going to be just with their pistols this round, as they're going to be moving into a site with a lot of killjoy utility.
Yeah, with just pistols, that's never a good sign to be going to a site with full killjoy utility, because you don't have enough really like ammunition to destroy her things without revealing your area like for a long period of time, right? Like look at here, Spooky can't really do much here, knowing that he only has a classic shooting at a chicken, like you say, Marks. And with Kobe Marks killing the lurk and Jumpy, I think that might be almost the end of the round for Blananx here.
You can see, even with that really good placed recon dart to try and figure out where they were, there was nothing that Spooky could do, just because that killjoy turret just completely shut him down. Now he's going to be trying to engage and be the entry fragger onto this B site, but it's going to be extremely difficult, especially too if there's a hot hands denying your entry here, as time is ticking down. For what it's worth, DuonBlues doing a great job of stalling this out.
Yeah, you have a Phantom here, though, which is going to be really tough to kill with the Classic, unless you use some utility to open up that space. I think they're stalling, but look at them going back to A now. But the Killjoy hasn't left. His utility's still there.
Oh yeah, and as soon as that alarm bot goes off, you know that that's just going to be calling for it, and Master Chief is going to fall down with
Spike down
Sabu.
A.
And Icy Knife can't even move in to support him. The bomb is in such a terrible position for him. And now he's going to be trying to make something happen, but unfortunately gets taken down by a pure
10
gun
seconds
difference.
left.
Now, there's only 10 seconds on the clock. The team looks scattered right now, as
Last
Blananx
player
have to move in
standing.
to make something happen, but unfortunately they're unable to do so, as Vexy2 is going to just let that timer come down as he tries to move in, but is going to be taken out by Always on Top.
Yeah, like I said, having that initial pick though, and having that going into that killjoy was such a hard predicament for Blananx to be in. I think overall it was just like I said, it's just a pistol round, it was a save round. They didn't really get much for it, but I think with this full buy here, they need to do something.
Yeah, they really do. DuonBlues are pulling it back against Blananx. You know, at first it was looking a little hairy, but now they're right back into it, as it looks like they're setting up to pressure C and add a little bit of pressure onto B and A as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I think knowing that they kind of been playing C around, so they know what's really here, and what they can expect. They're not going to be touching A, I think, with a 10-foot pole at this point, unless they kind of bait that utility out. They got Josh out of position, and they're going for a full send here on C.
Absolutely, and especially too with the recon dart, that's extremely telling. They've always used that to engage, but let's take a look at what the rotation is going to be from Blananx, as they're going to be just full sending it onto what do you call it? They're going all the way over to A. They're leaving Jumpy, their lurker, on that C side to try and get some of their exit kills there. But once again, they're going to be moving into Sayabu's utility. Now the alarm bot going out. They're going to be triggering at things. That's going to be a pick onto Spooky. A great shot from Sayabu to open this match up here. Now, it's going to get a little bit of support, but unfortunately, that's not going to be enough. Master Chief walking in here and just making it work. Almost walled off the sky there, isolating them into the site. But now they're going to be getting the bomb down. And DuonBlues, they got to play retake.
Yeah, with the res on the Spooky, it's going to be really tough to get back. No, training kills with Master Chief as well. This is just pure chaos. Call me Mark with the kill on Master Chief as well. Killing the top of the server is actually pretty key. Now looking at a 3-on-2. Let's see if they can hold it.
Jumpy trying to make this happen, able to take down one. Can he get another? Let's see. Right now, the bomb is being defused as Always on Top is sticking it, but unfortunately, that might not have been the right call, as Jumpy has to back off. Now it's a 1v1 situation, not favoring DuonBlues at all. Jumpy just kind of coming in and clutching this up for his team. Also has so much life, forcing Call Me Mark to stick onto the bomb as he just walks in and gets the easy shot. That's going to be another round going for Blananx, and a perfect execution by Jumpy.
Well played on Blananx's part. I was really scared that Jumpy would not have the support of Icy Knife. He was coming in kind of late, but I think that I'm not sure if it was a lineup. I might have to look at the VOD again, but that Molly was right on the bomb, so it possibly could have been a lineup where he shot and then went to go support Jumpy. That was super key and perfect timing for Jumpy to get that frag on a weak sky, and then having to dismiss out onto short. Well played on Blananx's part for that retake.
Absolutely. Well, ironically, they were also the ones who planted the bomb down, but I guess it technically still counts as a retake when DuonBlues wins over the site, but Always on Top, getting really aggressive there, able to put in a lot of damage on the Spooky, but it's probably just going to get healed up by the Sage.
Yeah, looking like they're working C again. I do think they kind of forced here on Josh a little bit, make him to do a play. He did injure a couple of them though, which is pretty good damage. But I think at this point they probably have an idea that they're going to rotate to another site or just hang around here as the Silver Dart goes out, only detecting one person.
Every single time Blananx has used the recon dart, they always disengage afterwards, and I'm starting to wonder whether or not DuonBlues is picking that up, whether or not it's just for the information or just a pure strategy thing. But Icy Knife being stuck in the swarm grenade is actually going to make him back off, and now Blananx back at the drawing board.
I think they're working mid here now, and I think this could be a good idea because you see the Jet Always on Top rotating back to A to help out his teammate. So they don't have an idea where they are exactly, but also Blananx doesn't have really any information at all at this point.
It's going to be extremely hard trying to use a Sheriff to push into
30
a rifle,
seconds
especially
left
on that C long. Once again, Jumpy on the lurk, looking through B here, as it's going to be Blananx now storming their way onto site, as they're going to be getting that bomb down. Vexy2 trying to make something happen, but unfortunately it's just going to be a little bit of a gun miss. Able to trade one out, but now it's just Jumpy so deep on this lurk, also going to get a little bit of cabbage in the face. Now can't even see, as that's just going to be an easy defuse by Always on Top, and DuonBlues pulling it back once again.
As someone who uses Sky often, Mark, I need you to put some respect on those squids' names. I don't want to. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear cabbages.
It's like floating cabbage, man. Snoopy.
But yeah, like I said, a great round on on DuonBlues' part to be able to take that round. They're looking to pick up some more momentum now. Just a 9-8 scoreline. Like I said, let's hope for some extra time here or some overtime because these teams are neck and neck, and I want to see more Valorant played by these two teams.
Absolutely. And now Blananx setting up for this A site push. Sayabu, though, has done such a great job of just shutting down this momentum completely. You can hear them not even scared. Jumpy just popping his ult right off the bat. And now it's just going to be an absolute hard 5-man engage. Thankfully, they have Sayabu's utility here, able to slow things down in order to get DuonBlues ready to engage as well. But as soon as I say that, it looks like Blananx completely just are going to be backing off. You know, they've done a great job at selling that convincing thing as they just leave Jumpy. That tends to be their strategy lately.
Yeah, it is. But look at this utility. If Jumpy decides to commit and get some lurk, there's gonna be a bot down to detect that push. Looks like it wasn't triggered at all though. So he has his position, and Sayabu doesn't even know he's there. Look at this big look, and that's why they're going back to A, because they know they might not have everyone here with that advanced push. But I don't think they know Sayabu's here either. So this could be a pretty precarious situation.
See, that's exactly going to be the case. Sayabu was good for 2, and now the bomb is down right beside him. But Jumpy, able to take out Calm Mark. Jumpy still got control of the site, but unless he does something in order to take down Sayabu, they're not going to be able to get the bomb. Now he's paranoid, can't even see anything in front of him as Mel's on there and sweep up the site. Sayabu, that is the anchor we don't need, but we deserve, because Sayabu just did such a great job of anchoring it down. Now it's just onto Icy Knife to make this happen. He's got a frenzy. That might not be enough to go up against all of these rifles. He's only got 10 seconds left to make something happen. He can hear them running around here, but he's just going to opt to hide here. Maybe find an isolated pick, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Now he's moving out here. He's able to get it, so he's going to be able to pick up a rifle and just going to hold on to that Vandal now. Wow, what a round. DuonBlues tying this up again.
Yeah, well-deserved tie though. Well done by DuonBlues. I think that's a little bit of a misplay by Jumpy's part, because he did not clear the whole site when he went in there. He just cleared the main site, but he didn't clear sewers or I would say sewers or short, whatever you would like to call it. But sewers in A lobby was not cleared at all. So he didn't know if anyone was there in the first place. And knowing that Sayabu had his turret still up, he probably could have figured that Killjoy was still going to be by somewhere close. But like I said, all credit to Sayabu as well for anchoring that site and not rotating way too quickly.
Always on top, getting so aggressive with able to take the bomb down immediately. Just spraying it down, also able to take out Spooky, just spraying through the smoke. This is already not off to a good start for Blananx, but Jumpy here, still on this flank, ready to catch somebody off guard.
Smoke's down.
Icy Knife catching, always on top, catching Icy Knife off guard, and now that's just going to be a flawless victory as DuonBlues are looking confident as they just storm and overwhelm Blananx. They say, you've got your strategy, doesn't matter, we're just going to run right through it.
Yeah, exactly. Always on top just wants everyone out of his server at this point. The man's just killing it. And also, I like to see if from Blananx's part a little bit more of a default, but being a little bit aggro, pushing it into those spaces, getting information by using their Sova darts or drones to get into certain spaces. Right now, when they play default, they play super passive, not getting any information, and then just defaulting to one site all the time. I think they get caught out sometimes.
Look at that. Just the spray already is enough to just damage Vexipoo, and now they're going to just back off Blananx, playing it extremely slowly as Jumpy getting into position. But they're just going to, once again, they're going to opt to just play it extremely slow here.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, Marks, because when we could play it slow, but you're also on an eco round, right? You want to kind of full send it to a site sometimes and just get as many picks as possible and get as much economy as possible. Good smokes on Icy Knife's part. You really like the use of the Brimstone on Haven. And let's see if they can, looks like they're going to take the site. Let's see if they can plant and look for a post plant. Already, they did a good enough job on the eco round to be able to make the money up.
Yeah, and Killjoy lockdown is going to be used in order to push them back. But it is going to be met with the Sova ult in order to try and get rid of it. And now he's just looking for some style points, able to ping somebody up there. Now, this is going to be a fight on the point. As always on top, unfortunately not not able to find anything else. Too much pressure from underneath Evan here. It's absolute trades back and forth, but it looks like the rifles are going to be coming out on top as DuonBlues now have site control. Icy Knife using the lineup, but Jumpy coming clutch in for his team once again, just walking in and cleaning it up. Jumpy on this lurk is just so effective for Blananx here.
Yeah, that must be so frustrating for DuonBlues. Jumpy is so effective on the lurk, and like we said, they needed to win that round. And because they were on an eco, they had so many things against them. Once they planted that bomb, they did enough, knowing that they're gonna get some kills for when DuonBlues tries to retake the site. And they did more than enough. They actually won the round. So well in, they damaged DuonBlues' economy a little bit, and now they're back on track.
Yep, and it's now tied up 10-10. Everybody's got rifles on the board here, and Jumpy immediately taking a little bit of damage from Always on Top. I love that aggression coming from Always on Top, because every single time Always on Top has been aggressive, they've gotten a little bit of value out of it.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with you, Marks. I think getting that little bit of aggression, and then I can't say enough, that information is super key. Looks like they're working A again. I don't think Sayabu's really deterring them anymore like they were in the beginning of the rounds. They're kind of making a lot of noise here, so they know they're going to be initiating on this site.
Begins.
Sayabu looking for something, unfortunately gets taken out by Vexibu. They've found out his main position here, so Sayabu not too sure whether or not he wants to play that anymore, and he just looks kind of lost in some of these defenses. Before he was doing a great job holding that spot, but now it's looking a little bit more shaky, as this is going to be a 5-on-4. DuonBlues have to come back and retake this, but as soon as I see that, Jash able to tie it up 4-4 now. So let's see how this goes here. There's going to be bullets coming in from both sides. Mel throwing out the curveball, trying to get a little bit of a blind out here. But unfortunately, there's too many smokes on this site. There's going to be trades going back and forth. Master Chief just looking for somebody. He's behind too and doesn't even realize it, I don't think. But now he's going to go in, take it Always on Top, and that's going to be Icy Knife, punishing Mel as well as Blananx once again takes the lead.
Yeah, if you see Icy Knife having that lineup, so I actually was correct before, and he wasn't delayed on the lurk. He actually did have a lineup coming through to defend that bomb. So well done researching, knowing your lineups, because that can be pretty deadly. Oftentimes he does pop it at the perfect time to be able to delay the defuse, or at least damage enough for one of the teammates to get an easy tap, whether it's on the body or the legs or anything like that, and not worry about having to do a headshot.
Now Blananx, they're only 2 rounds away from winning, but DuonBlues is really dragging them through the mud in order to get those wins here. Let's see how they want to engage. It looks like they're setting up for C again, but this time Jumpy, the lurker, is holding on to the spike.
Yeah, and if you just look at the economy, Marks, Blananx has all like full guns, but if you see DuonBlues, they have a Bulldog, they ball fully, but if they lose this round, it's going to be 12-10, and they're going to have to save and buy with as much as they can next round. So it's not looking good. They need to win this round.
Round, absolutely, but it's not off to a good start as Jumpy finds Mel. Now Josh, aware that Jumpy might be going through there, sees him come through. The flash is going to be going out, and it's going to stop him here. But now this is just going to be what do you call it? Blananx moving in on site as Master Chief able to sweep out Always on Top. Now Josh moving in here, trying to deny anything, but unfortunately he misses all of his shots. Now it's all up to Sabu. Sabu 1-5 as Spoofy takes him out with a headshot. Like you said, Dan, this is not looking good for DuonBlues now, because they're not going to be able to full buy against Blananx, and it is now match point.
Yeah, they're looking like they're full buying rifles and shield, but I don't know if they'll be able to full buy abilities. Unfortunately, we're not able to check that, but you see the Call Me Mark on the Ares with a full shield. So let's see if they have a lot of their abilities. A lot of them have a lot of really low money. But yeah, like I said, they could full buy, but not completely. So we'll see what happens here in this final round. Like I said, it's do or die at this point. They have to win it, and they're gonna need some magic from Always on Top to carry them through this round.
Already see Spooky adding a little bit of pressure on mid, but it looks like they're setting up to do a C push here. Trading some bullets back and forth. Josh going to be smoking that out just to slow their roll for a second.
Yeah, so I think they're playing some defaults here, and I kind of like it. Get some, like I said, get some information, feel it out. You know A is viable now because you've taken it before. So what they do here is get information, slowly work up garage, slowly work up mid. These are all viable positions where you won it before. And it looks like Blananx is kind of looking to engage into garage here. Let's see if they can pull it off.
Jumpy opening this up, but unfortunately gets traded out by Josh. And now, DuonBlues up 5-4 as Blananx has not committed yet to a site. They do have the res here, so Master Chief looking for an opportunity to get that res off, pops the wall. Now Jumpy's going to be back into the battle, which is going to be huge because Jumpy does so much work as now the team is regrouping. They've got just over 30 seconds left to commit to a site, and it looks like that site is going to be A.
Look at Jumpy on the lurk again, no marks. Such an expert at just
30
pulling
seconds left.
players away. They're going to be fully engaging onto A here. They destroyed the bot. Seiyabu's going to be, but that's not going to deter them because they have Jumpy coming through mid. They do have the option to go back, which is look like what they're going to do, but I think they just have him so confused at this point. Jumpy's probably going to get a pick or two here.
Yeah, Jumpy's opening this up for one, but right now, Blananx, they gotta get that bomb down. They're running out of time. As Mel's gonna be walking through here, denies the plant. That might have just won them the round because now they just don't have enough time to get the bomb down. What an absolute stunner from Mel, able to just come in here and get that defensive round. Now, it's looking like DuonBlues could potentially push this to overtime.
But yeah, great ult by Mel, and to be able to carry that and delay as much as possible so they can get that plan done. Well done. But like I said, the Blananx has more than enough money to be able to buy again and again over. So they're gonna be full utility, full guns, and as well as DuonBlue. What else can we ask for? Both teams fully loaded. Let's see if they can take it to overtime.
Yeah, right now, if anybody can do it, DuonBlues could, but Blananx, they're so close to that sweet victory without having to take this to overtime. So you know that they're going to be wanting this a lot. Always on top, though. Throwing on a little bit of pressure here. And it looks like Blananx, they're actually going to be just playing it slow once again.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big pick by Call Me Mark onto Jumpy. Blananx's best player. Looking to see here what they do without the lurk now. If they can get a pick here, Spooky. Wow, that was huge. That was huge by Spooky. I know he's at the bottom of the team right now, but that was big. That was a big moment on his part.
Absolutely. Taking out Always on Top, who's on the top by a significant amount for his team. That's an absolutely massive thing. As we see now, they're going to just be absolutely storming this C site. They can get the plant down. Spooky with the knives as well. Right now, this is looking like it's Blananx's to lose. They know where they're coming from. Now they can watch that with a little bit more care. Jesh, though, setting up the move through garage, going to be met with a wall, but we see Josh actually teleporting to the back line. Just add pressure from all directions. Spooky, though, opening this up with a pick on a Mel, then taking down Seiyabu. This is not looking too good. Call Me Mark, though, has something to do here as he takes out two. Now, there are two members for Blananx left. They just have to play this slow. Remember, even if they don't necessarily get the frag kill, they could win if this round is going off, and that's exactly what's going to happen here because there's going to be an ultimate coming in as that's just going to deny the time here. So, Call Me Mark, not going to have enough time to use it as Icy Knife finishes it off with Blananx winning out against DuonBlues 13-11.
Wow, what a game, Marks. That was incredible. Really smart move by Icy Knife to be able to get behind the line and go into garage, knowing he has an ult. Although he was going kind of late, he knew he had that ult to delay enough to be able to get into a good position to finish him off after. Didn't matter that it didn't matter that the Vexipu died because he was always going to be there to clean it up. Well done, and what a great game by both teams. Always on top, being top, always on top apparently, and Jumpy as well. Kudos to those two teams as well as everyone else.
Yes, and congratulations to Blananx. They are going to be moving on top. But look at that, always on top, and match MVP as well. Unfortunately, DuonBlues were not able to secure the win. Jumpy just behind him on that scoreboard there. But Blananx then, they're going to be moving forward to the quarterfinals. So congratulations to their win. This was an incredibly contested matchup, but stay tuned because we're going to be throwing to a quick break before we go to the last match of the night to determine who Blananx will be facing in the quarterfinals. So stick around. We're going to be back in about 15 minutes as we get the next match set up. And one more round of Valorant. I'm excited. Are you excited, Dan?
Oh, very excited. It looks like, though, one more point. It looks like that Blananx did have that played Haven before, and it looks like it mattered, right? Having that experience. So let's see what happens in the matches 4. Super excited, Marks. Cannot wait for the next game.
We'll see you guys in a bit.